Hi, welcome to another installment of the proven sales letter breakdown series that I'm doing. Today we are on day 11th and we're going to be breaking down another sales letter from Gary Bencivenga. I just love Gary Bencivenga's style, and his copy is so buttery smooth, and it's not trying to be a try-hard type of copy. It's not, super emotionally powerful, but he always says the right thing at the right time, and it converts. And this ad is his famous olive oil ad for the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, and this has been running for a few decades now probably, and this is just the latest iteration of the ad itself. So I just made the screenshot from the website itself, and as you can see, first of all, the design itself is very there's a lot of white space here. I like the design because it's just it's smooth, it's nice, it goes well with the theme of olive oils, which I like. And the only thing that you can do on this page probably is to just read the copy, and it's like a letter. It's like a personal letter, and the guru who's under guru I mean someone who's the face of the company. So Gary wrote the copy, but TJ Robinson is the face of the company here. But I think Gary is also an owner or something, like at least a business partner. So we open up with a nice headline with an exclusive invitation. So there's a lot of things happening in this headline actually. So let me just read it to you. So you are cardinally invited to join the tiny handful of Americans who can enjoy rare, fresh pressed olive oil all year long. So first of all, we have like an exclusive invitation. This is more like a direct offer in a sense. So this is aimed at people who are in our target audience, who wanna definitely try out stuff like exclusive stuff, gourmet stuff like this special type of olive oil. And by doing this exclusive invitation to them, it just raises the aura of exclusivity for this offer itself. Also, handful of Americans, it's like an exclusive club that we're inviting them to. And that's why the name itself is Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club. Rare fresh pressed olive oil. So this is the benefit and also the unique selling proposition. So immediately in the headline itself, we know like how this product is different compared to any other olive oil, for example. And we have all year long. I like this because it's like a preemptive objection handling, and it's important to do these in certain instances, because most people will feel like, yeah, but like I can buy I don't know, like good quality olive oil in the store as well. Like, why should I choose yours? Well, because this is rare, it's fresh pressed, and you can enjoy it all year long. So some of these people also know that the freshest olive oil is only available in certain seasons. But all year long, it creates a desire to find out more. Then we have a cool picture, like a friendly and relatable face to TJ Robinson, and we have some instant credibility builders here. A few things about him and why he's an expert, and why should we listen to him in the first place. So the first, the subhead itself is a big promise. It says these oils are outrageously, insanely bright and flavorful, the best tasting olive oils in the world. So it's quite a promise, but as usual, Gary always backs up his promises with plenty of proof. So at the end of this sales letter, we'll definitely believe that these are something like really special olive oils. And interestingly, we also have some instant scarcity right off the bat. And I think that this increases the perceived value of this product, and it also makes it more desirable, because yes, we have the big promise and then we immediately follow it up with the scarcity. That means that this thing has to really be valuable, otherwise it wouldn't be scarce, right? So most people they think that, they feel like if something is scarce, that it must mean it's valuable, because the main reason why it's scarce is because people are buying it and there's not enough. And we also have another preemptive objection handling here with the gourmet store. So again, some people are thinking, okay, so I want to enjoy good quality olive oil, but why can't I just buy it in the store itself? Well, because you can't, because this is a seasonal thing, because most stores and distribution networks aren't cut out to transport good quality olive oil the way it's supposed to be handled. We also have, in the second subhead, we have reason why copy, which again is like a specialty of Gary Bencivenga. He always tries to explain logically why the whole big idea behind the promotional product itself is logical. It makes sense. So basically, he's just future pacing that he's gonna explain why you won't find it in the supermarket, and how you can reserve your private supply, ship directly to your door. So private supply, again, exclusivity, ship directly to your door. It's convenient and easy. So already, like, notice how many things are happening all at once. We're already at 6 minutes, and so many things are happening here. So we also, there's something which has a news value here. It says announcing the fresh pressed olive oil club, and this is only the place where the sales letter itself begins. Dear olive oil aficionado. So I like this. It's a nice salutation. It's memorable, and I like it. So right off the bat, we have a unique promise plus urgency element once again. So Gary says a major olive oil opportunity is at hand, but if you're interested, you must act quickly. So again, this just increases the intrigue factor of the sales letter. Then Gary has his Bensivenga persuasion equation, which stands for urgent problem plus unique promise plus unquestionable proof plus user-friendly proposition equals persuasion. So we start with the urgent problem itself. So the whole sales letter at this point teases the concept of it's pretty much impossible to get really high quality fresh pressed olive oil in America, because nobody really ships it like that, at least not in those times when this was written. But I can imagine that it's a very, very niche product. And the problem is, the big problem, the urgent problem is that most olive oil suppliers sell average quality olive oil at best, because olive oil by nature spoils very quickly. It's not like wine that it gets better with age. No, it's quite the opposite. And then after we describe the urgent problem, we provide more credibility, saying that olive oil cultures like Spain, Italy, and Greece and other Mediterranean countries, they go crazy over fresh pressed olive oil. So they even have like these harvest parties to celebrate this arrival, its vibrant, youthful energies. So I like this part, because to me it communicates something like what people are thinking when they're reading this. They are thinking something like, gee, Italians sure know how to live, so I'd also like to experience that type of Mediterranean gusto. So immediately, this is a very, very evocative sentence here, because after describing the urgent problem, we conceptualize it. We actually dimensionalize it by saying how well off, people in Spain and Greece and Italy are, and how they are living this nice Mediterranean lifestyle. And the image of that Mediterranean lifestyle is pretty important to some people, and it's something that a lot of people want to experience for themselves. And I that's why I especially like this line here. Then we go on into teasing the unique mechanism of the solution. So only teasing it, there's a unique mechanism of the problem. So explaining, how other solutions are subpar. And there's also a unique mechanism of the solution, explaining how, your solution actually works. And this just teases that, basically fresh pressed olive oil is superior to any other type of olive oil. Now, there's an improvement opportunity that I immediately notice here. And it was Gary Bencivenga, in fact, who said that whenever you're hand copying copy, or you're trying to analyze proven sales letters, you should always think about one thing that could be improved as well. And in my case, as I was hand copying this, I really felt overwhelmed by these long paragraphs. And we know that most copy has to be very easily readable, maybe even easily skimmable, and that you shouldn't really use that many sentences in a paragraph. So I know that Gary's style has longer paragraphs or longer sentences, and this sales letter obviously still works if they're still running it. But the caveat here is that I think that this is especially aimed at like older audiences, and audiences who have more sophisticated styles, and maybe this can get away with these audiences. But if you're writing to a younger audience, or if you're writing to markets which don't really have attention spans as long as this audience probably, then you should definitely like separate these paragraphs into like several sentences. Like this paragraph here, it could certainly be, I don't know, 3 paragraphs or something. And also the lines were a bit too long for me. And that's one of the things I really liked in older ads, in newspaper ads, is that they had shorter columns, and the lines themselves weren't so long. And it's easier for the eyes to like quickly skim through and quickly read it and quickly catch certain words. And the thing that I noticed lately in online marketing and copywriting circles is that email marketers also do the same thing. Like, it's very bad. Like, imagine somebody must have sent you an email once, or like even an autoresponder, which was very, very wide. And it's just hard to read it, especially on smaller screens. Or even longer screens. It's not a good experience. And many email marketers today, the best ones actually, have a relatively narrow structure with big fonts. So at least like 18 or something, or at least 16 font size. But you just want to create this relatively narrow sales letter itself. And yes, this is kind of like somewhat of a narrow sales letter, but to my taste, considering the fact that it's in small print, it's just hard to read, and it was also hard to write, to be honest. So this is the thing that I would definitely improve here. But getting back to the sales letter itself, so we mentioned the urgent problem here. At this point, we agitate the problem a bit. There's also even more reason why copy, so the reader has the sense of, yeah, I guess this makes sense. So this is why so many of the olive oils sold in supermarkets and gourmet stores are bottled and labeled without reference to their harvest dates, making it impossible for you to determine how fresh they are. So it just makes sense. It's logical, and that's what you want. After you build emotional desire in people, you also want to like explain the whole thing, because there's so many marketing messages competing for our attention, and this is one of the best ways to build trust in people. Then there's more agitation, and then our first subhead actually is a philosophical question, which I like, and I like to use these in copy as well. It says, "You and I insist on fresh milk and fresh fish. Why not fresh olive oil?" And it's a valid question. A lot of people might be thinking at this point, yeah, that sounds reasonable. Like, if fresh milk and fresh fish are like given in my life, why shouldn't I expect fresh olive oil? And at this point, we start to get into the story of T.J. Robinson himself, and he kind of becomes like an advocate for us. He shares his discovery story of the unique mechanism of the solution, so how he came up with this whole product, and it's positioned in a way that it seems like he did it for us so that we can have a better life. Okay, and this philosophical question really lends a great starting point for that. So, the copy describes how, T.J. Robinson believes that the current situation isn't fair, and then he goes on this discovery journey for us. He, he samples all the best olive oils in the world, and then we start to see testimonials as well, social proof, very specific proof elements. And I like that these the specific testimonials aren't here by random. So this one, the message of this testimonial goes really well with the message that the main copy is trying to convey. So this just it makes it even stronger, which I think it's a really good thing to do. So yeah, it just goes on his discovery story. He meets a very nice Italian supplier who's like, yeah, sure, I want to ship to the US, but you have to do it by plane, and nobody else has done it before. And it's just something like it's a unique problem for the author itself, for the voice of this product itself, but there are tons of additional authority builder elements here because of this, and the whole story is just super credible with unique testimonials, nice, interesting subheads, and at the end, Gary is describing the victory of how this character managed to finally find a solution to the urgent problem, and then he tried it, and then people were begging him to get more. So this again is proof in itself as well. So it was kind of like a prototype launch, and it was super successful, and everybody wanted more. So then, once again, we get involved into his discovery story. And I also like that. I think that there's a subtle element of tension inside this story. We as the reader feel like, will he be able to do it? Will he be able to become the hero and save the day, actually? So we're kind of rooting for him. Which again, it just gets people invested more and more emotionally into this whole thing. We have even more reason why copy here. Everything is just super logical while also cementing his authority. Then, there are certain elements that kind of repeat. So the unique promise and unquestionable proof, these two things always repeat, and they go hand in hand all throughout the sales letter. And also the USP itself, the unique selling proposition is repeated a few times as well. We have some future pacing elements here by saying that, so when you become a charter member, notice when and charter member, so you could be really cool, of the Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, you can expect 3 bottles. You love a choice of 2 sizes of the world's freshest olive oil to show up at your home 4 times a year. You will never have to expend a drop of energy or waste a second of your precious time in tracking down great olive oil. You will be quite literally one of the few people on the planet with a continual supply of just pressed, insanely fresh olive oil. So it's a unique promise, and it sets expectations as well. Then we have another subhead which kind of also says that, come and join me on this journey. We have, this is the offer part itself, which is the user-friendly proposition in Gary's words. Basically, it's a subscription product. It's a quarterly subscription product, which also comes with some bonuses, so like reports on how to best enjoy these olive oils. Like reports describing each oil's biography and producer, olive variety, harvest and delivery details, and also suggestions on how to best enjoy it and how to, which foods to combine it with. I think it's really strong because it just makes the whole offer much more powerful. And I also like how we have this part here which says, I'll even include a game plan for an olive oil tasting party, so you can invite your family members and foodie friends to share their impressions as well. You're going to have fun discovering and appreciating these remarkable oils. So I think that this is a very strong benefit, because ultimately what much of this audience wants is to be perceived as a sophisticated, amazing host who has great taste. And this is very similar to the Kuro Buddha ham ad, one of Gary's proven ads that I did a few days before, in that you want to be perceived as as this super sophisticated person in front of your guest. And that's what this whole thing is about. Sure, it's nice to enjoy olive oil, good olive oil, but at the end of the day, you want to make a great impression. You want to impress others. You want to be charismatic because of this. You want you to be the talk of other parties. Like, oh, we went to Chaba's house and he had such cool olive oils and he knew its history and it was so cool, and everybody will be, jealous of that. That's what people want, many of them. We have more reason why copy together with some irresistible testimonials, which kind of, have the effect of, I gotta find out, for myself how good these oils taste, because I know how olive oil tastes and how can you actually improve it so much. I gotta find out. We have more high-level benefits. Then we have more social proof, so straight up testimonials, at this point, because the claim itself is big, and then by giving these proof elements, it just makes everything much more believable. Then we have our main call to action, which says RSVP today. I like this because, again, it creates a sense of like exclusivity to it. And also the whole offer is structured in a way that it makes sense on why to apply today. There's natural scarcity in that, I, as the producer, as the face behind this product, I cannot guarantee to always give you fresh pressed olive oil delivered right to your doorstep. So you must RSVP today, and you must choose one of the two convenient options, which I like, because you always want to have two options, not to overwhelm people, but to make them feel like they have to decide between which one to pick instead of whether to pick the option or not. So, and I also like how everything is explained very clearly. So it's like you're gonna get 3 500 milliliter bottles, which comes out to be 500 milliliters per month, and the total cost is this, and everything is explained in a super clear way. Then we get reminded of the nice bonuses as well, which elevate the whole experience once again. More testimonials, and then this is the place which really knocks people off the fence, in my opinion. It's just an irresistible offer for this particular target audience, because yes, you can enjoy all this, you have all the proof elements, but if you don't like it, there's a money back guarantee, you can cancel anytime. So it's not shady at all. It's like, why not? I should try it. Definitely give it a shot. At least I can say to my friends that I tasted real fresh pressed olive oil at once, like one time in my life or something. Then the concept of exclusivity is reiterated once again, and still the offer is positioned in a way that, what an honor to buy this. What an honor to become the charter member of the world's first olive oil club like this. So I think this is also a very strong persuasion element here. Then we have more future pacing here, so you will be amazed by the flavor. And then this part, I'm not going to read it now, but I really encourage you to read it for yourself, because it's a very, very powerful close. It has it all to basically persuade people into trying this stuff. And then at the end, I like this as the absolute last sentence, because it gives people the feeling of affordable luxury. And this is also what Starbucks started out with. But this is actually better, in my opinion, because, we people want to enjoy luxury stuff in life. We want to enjoy and try out exclusive new stuff, but these things are expensive. And this is actually a very affordable way. Sure, it's expensive for a bottle of olive oil to spend like $50 for a 500 milliliter bottle of olive oil, but it's still affordable luxury, and you can have so many good memories with it. So it says, this is one of those little luxuries at a most reasonable price that can add such delight and satisfaction and comfort to every meal you serve and partake. We all deserve such simple daily pleasure these days. a lot of people can definitely resonate with this, because they're like, you know, I work so much, I take care of the kids, I have so many responsibilities in life, and I have to like just be there for so many people, for so many chores. And you know what? I do deserve to have this little pleasure in my life. I do deserve to have like a ritual in which I pour this special olive oil on my fruit, on my food, and I can just enjoy the gusto feeling of Mediterraneans. I really like that, because those people are perceived to have like the good life, and the Mediterranean diet is perceived to be, you know, healthy, a very healthy type of diet. And by saying this as the last few words, I think it's really special, and a lot of people will feel like, you know what, I do deserve it, let's do it. Then we have the sign off, and then we have a PS, which is pretty strange in my opinion. So why close with this? But Gary probably knew why he included this. It's just some info regarding shipping and the care that the face behind this product is putting into this whole thing. And then, interestingly, and this is more of a modern thing, the last element is asking for people's email address. So it's not a big buy button. It's not like buy now or otherwise you'll be left out, because remember, the whole thing has like this exclusive feel to it. And this way we have a micro commitment from people, in that, you know, they have to go through a certain steps in order to get this. So it seems more exclusive. We also have the micro commitment. And importantly, we can retarget them later on with email marketing, with Facebook ads, with anything else. Because most people still won't purchase. But like, if they need more nurturing, email is the best way to do that. So I think it's really smart. That's it. I don't know how many words this ad is. It's like 1,500 words or something, probably, maybe a little bit more. But it's short. It's to the point. And I think, again, it's very powerful in selling something like an exclusive olive oil. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like below the video, and see you in the next one.